everyone, it's Ashley and I'm back with another fragrance review, and this time I'm going to review something vintage, which is a first for me on the channel. But we're going to review vintage Chanel No. 5, and it's the Eau de Cologne concentration. So I know I've already reviewed the Eau de Toilette in the current version, but the Eau de Cologne is kind of different. It has a very similar nose list to the EDT, but there's a different feeling towards it. Even though it was created by the same perfumer, it's a different type of fragrance. This one was discontinued in the 1990s, and this is a vintage bottle. I'll just show you what they look like. This is the black case, and it's one of the refillable ones. And as always, it's got the cylindrical Chanel kind of style. And let's see, and that's what the bottom looks like. They're refillable. These ones are super inexpensive. Online you can find them sometimes, and so this one is definitely, you know, a good one to pick up as far as being inexpensive for Chanel. The first thing that I want to talk about is this one is considered a floral aldehyde, just like the traditional, you know, EDT for Chanel No. 5. And the top notes on this one are African orange flower, ylang ylang, bergamot, Amalfi lemon, and aldehydes. The middle is iris, jasmine, orris root, rose, lily of the valley, and the base is sandalwood, musk, vetiver, patchouli, oak moss, amber, vanilla, and civet. And like the traditional EDT, it has the patchouli and the civet, which are considered kind of dangerous notes in perfumery, and in this case, rightfully so, definitely. In comparison to the EDT is more like a nice younger sister to this one. This would be the risky older sister who, you know, maybe is a little mysterious, that type of thing. So let me go ahead and respray this one real quick. Whew. Okay, the first thing that you go with this one, can't breathe, is aldehydes, and it's very sharp. It's almost overwhelmingly sharp in this one. Civet, I would say, also is the next one. The civet is really quite intense in this, and it gives it kind of an animalic, you know, flavor to it. Aldehydes are traditionally kind of, you know, bubbly and lively and, you know, energetic type of openings, and this is definitely so. You know, like the EDT, it does open with the bergamot, the Amalfi lemon, you know, anything that gives it kind of that life and that citrus, that kind of energy. So it's definitely in there, but it's actually kind of overpowered by the civet. You know, so you do get the initial sharp aldehydes along with the citrus, but the civet's just right in your face immediately. It does, as it starts wearing down, it does warm up. And by warm up, I mean it sweetens up and it feels a little bit richer, which is probably due to the amber. I think it's a very strong note in this one. It feels very sweet and rich and, you know, quite heady also. And that might be due to the jasmine. Jasmine is also very sweet and kind of intense, indolic, as I think what they usually refer to it as. There is a powderiness to it. In this case, the rose comes forward quite a bit. As it wears down, the rose and the iris come forward more. And you smell kind of like a powderiness, so there is like kind of a hint of more adult, ladylike type ofness to it. But if you were going to compare the two, if you're comparing traditional EDT with the Cologne, you know, this one is the more daytime wearable version. This is definitely the more evening, more sensual feeling fragrance. It's typically considered very woody in these, especially the Cologne version. It's got, you know, the vetiver. You can definitely smell the vetiver. You can definitely smell the sandalwood and the oak moss and the patchouli. It gives it kind of an earthy, grounded, you know, kind of intensity to it. I think that kind of anchors the civet and it keeps it from feeling, you know, overwhelmingly animalic. In this one, it's definitely animalic. You know, this is a nighttime kind of fragrance. At least it feels like you'd be very daring to wear this during the daytime, at least for me. There's also definitely a muskiness to it, and that kind of goes in combination with the civet. I think the woodiness and the musk kind of definitely amplify the feeling of the civet. There is a sweetness to it as well, you know, the powderiness. There's the vanilla that gives it the powdery, the iris, the rose, all those kind of add some powder. There's some definite sweetness to it. It's a floral aldehyde, and you know that there's florals in there, but you know, they kind of take a background definitely to like the richness of the amber and the bubbliness of the aldehydes and kind of sharpness of the aldehydes and the civet. So in this one, although it's floral, it's more like a subdued floral, and it is a little bit difficult to pick out the different notes in this one. It does wear down to just something that's really beautiful and rich, and it's kind of hard to place almost, because it's just like a warm woodiness with like a little sweetness to it. It doesn't feel, you know, like the civet wears off very quickly. In this one, I would definitely say that the longevity of this one is, you know, moderate to long lasting. I would say you can get a lot more wear out of the vintage version of the Cologne than you can out of the modern EDT version. The modern one only lasts, you know, 4 to 6 hours. This one I think you could probably get 6 to 8 if you got a bottle that was still in good condition. As far as the sillage, you're definitely looking at a little bit stronger of a projection. It's probably moderate to, I would say, a little bit further out. People around you would definitely smell this. This feels more, you know, fall, winter, and also kind of evening. You know, if you wore it the other months, it would definitely feel more evening. I would have a hard time wearing this one during the day particularly. It feels, you know, a little too dirty, I guess is the best way to put it. It feels, you know, a little strong, a little animalic, a little bit, you know, on the edge. And for a vintage, you know, fragrance especially, it's very surprising. You know, this one feels like it could be more modern. It feels like it could be, you know, it's just very rich and, you know, interesting and slightly difficult to wear. You know, for the price point that you can find it online, it's very inexpensive. I've seen bottles for $20, which is, you know, practically a steal, especially when you're considering, you know, Chanel quality. But as a discontinued fragrance, you know, if you can get your hands on it to try it, and you like, you know, kind of strong, intense fragrances, then I would definitely try it. But this isn't for the faint of heart. This is definitely a fragrance that you have to be confident to wear, because it might wear you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review of Chanel No. 5 Eau de Cologne, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!